Hey YouTube, this is my video review of the Eton Microlink FR160 survival radio. I got this off of Amazon for about $35, and it's a great little survival radio to put in a bug-out bag or in a just a hurricane kit since I live here in Florida. This is the packaging it comes in here. It does say it's designed in California, but of course probably I think it's made in China. But it seems to be very strong and sturdy. So let's take a look. There's a couple really neat features of this survival radio. Obviously it has a solar panel on top. So the great thing about the solar panel is it can charge the radio or the flashlight or the cell phone thing, which we'll get to in just a moment. And then also on the top, of course, is the expanding AM/FM antenna and weather band. And then there's a small rubberized button on the top, which incorporates a very bright LED flashlight. I see it has 3 LEDs. I don't know the lumen rating on that, but it's a very bright flashlight. And then of course we have the controls here on the side. The first control you'll see is the tuning dial. Of course we have AM, FM, and the weather bands. And so when you turn from off to on, you can see that we're on AM now. So if you just do some tuning here, so you can see we have AM radio here, then we have our FM radio also. It's actually got really good volume on it. And of course the tuning light comes on there when it's tuning. And then we have the weather bands also. So if you're going through the weather bands, there's 7 weather bands. And all you have to do is find the one that correlates to your area. And you can see, and you can see that even with this antenna down, that it even without it fully extended, it actually brings in the weather bands very nice. And over here, of course, is the tuning. And then if you go all the way to the right, if you can see this, get it to focus here. This is the cell charger. The great thing about this is, along with the solar panel, the flashlight, the AM/FM weather band, is here on the back there is a little rubberized adapter that has a USB port. So it will supply your 5 volts to whatever your USB charging unit is. And also here is the 3.5mm headphone jack for the AM/FM radio. I did charge. I have a Samsung Galaxy S3 that I was able to charge with this, because with the solar panel, if you run this for about 12 hours in bright sun, you'll get just maybe about 10% to 15% on your phone, which in an emergency situation, of course, would be just enough to take care of a emergency call. Also, that same solar charge gave me almost 10 hours of volume of normal volume on the radio. And on the back of this is the hand charger. It's sturdy. It does feel like plastic, but it does feel awful sturdy. And when you crank this, a full 5-minute crank on here gives you about 5 times as much radio. So a 5-minute crank gives you about 25 to 30 minutes of radio. I also noticed a 5-minute crank when I turned on this LED light gave me almost an hour of LED light. So the LEDs obviously are very efficient. So that's the great thing about the cranking. And when you're cranking this, you actually get a green or orange indicator as you're cranking. And the instruction manual, read that for your particular phone. But it does say, if you are charging a cell phone, to crank that at about 2 revolutions per second, or until the orange light turns green, and that lets you know that the cell phone is obtaining voltage from the USB port. And of course that folds. If you spin this around, that actually folds conveniently up against here. So I'd say, I mean, the size of this thing, it's about maybe 5 inches long by about 2 inches thick. And the great thing about it is it fits great in a travel pack. It's sturdy. I got the red one. I think it comes in black or blue. It's an anodized, I believe it's an aluminum. It's got non-skid rubber feet on the bottom, and of course a hanging lanyard, and comes in a nice package. So I think they did a really good job for about $30. You can get this on Amazon. I don't know what other retail stores carry that, but it's probably a good idea to look around. Of course, shop around as always. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I will leave a link to this item in the comments below. So thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.